Tonight on News Hour, logistics challenges spark passenger rush at Rigasa Station for holiday travel. Low purchasing power dampens Christmas Eve preparations in Kano State. 18-year-old suspect in retired permanent secretary's murder dies in Niger State police custody. On the foreign scene, fire exchange between Democratic Republic of Congo Army allies kill at least 7. Hello there and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. The news in detail. The federal government's free train service has triggered a significant influx of passengers at the Rigasa train station in Kaduna as people travel to celebrate Christmas and New Year with their loved ones. Passengers arrive early with their luggage, spending hours waiting for the next train from Abuja. Trust TV's Bello Musa reports.
At the Rigasa train station, passengers wait patiently for their turn to board the free train service. Many arrived at the station early, determined to secure a seat and avoid missing the train. Some passengers share their experiences with the free train service.
I haven't experienced any stress. I came here without a ticket and they just asked me for my national identity number and I wrote down my name and that's all. We're waiting for the train to come so that we can board.
I didn't have a ticket, but when I got to the train station, they only asked for my NIN number and contact details. Once I provided them, I was allowed to board the train.
No, I haven't used free ticket before. Like this is the first time, I think.
While the Rigasa station experiences fewer passengers compared to Abuja, concerns about overcrowding and logistical challenges have been raised. Passengers in Kaduna urged the government to improve the train system for a smoother travel.
As a matter of fact, it's something that's very, very good. The system of the train is very good, but only that our nation lack administration.
No, there's no challenge. There's no challenge. Just that, the rousiness when situation is to be given to so many people like this, there's bound for this kind of rousiness.
People start booking their free tickets online as early as midnight and make sure they are at the train station on time. Those with tickets board the train first, while those without ticket have to wait until all the ticketed passengers are seated. That's the only challenge. The waiting can be frustrating for those without tickets. Meanwhile, in southern Kaduna, Christmas celebration in areas like Kafanchan, known for their vibrant festivities, are subdued this year due to the harsh economic realities affecting residents. Kafanchan locals express how the economic situation is impacting their ability to celebrate the season.
The preparation is going fine. It's not easy because you looking at people not able to celebrate along with you. It's something else. It's kind of boring for me. This Christmas is not giving me the vibe like normal Christmas. By now you see friends coming back but when you call people now they'll say they are not coming back because of cost of fuel, transport, they can't make it. So it's kind of boring because I'm not even preparing anything serious.
I really try by keeping chicken and the least I could do is to just buy rice and cook it. Just make it like that's it.
Plan to flex like before?
No, we don't. I don't think we have that money and that effort to flex like before. Because the economics now is really hitting us. It's really hitting us. The economy is really hitting us. So I don't think that flexing is part of the Christmas celebration. Though there is this security advice again that used to go around that everybody should reduce the rate at which because of the securities. And so we start take that personal. and make the life easy life for us. That's it. That's what is in my heart. I don't know for others, yeah.
The economic hardships are not only felt in southern Kaduna, but across other parts of the state and the nation, casting a shadow over the holiday celebrations. Bello Kusa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Now, hours before Christmas Day, Kano residents continue navigating economic challenges to ensure they enjoy the festive season. At markets in the state, usually known for their affordability during this season, the situation is different this year. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim visits typically busy markets for Christmas shopping and now reports.
At Yankaba Morning Market along Hadejia Road in Kano, hours before Christmas Day, Nigerians are busy with last-minute shopping, particularly for condiments used to prepare Christmas meals. However, rising prices are forcing many to consider creative ways to cope.
Like carrots, tomatoes, you see a tomato of 10,000, then you can't see a tomato of 10,000 there. Even if you want to buy a tomato for 10,000, it's for one bear. But now, with the hike of prices, hike of things, pepper, everything, it's inflating, so we cannot cook stew again. We are going to cook fried rice, and with the fried rice, it's going to be like gero.
There is a big difference. As at last year, with 20,000, you can make one or two things, but as it stands, 20,000 cannot go anywhere for you.
The market, usually popular with residents, even those from distant parts of the state, sees fresh produce brought directly by farmers. While some prices remain reasonable, others are shockingly high, according to residents. At the Yan Awaki market in Ungwar Uku area, the story is no different.
The prices are extremely high. Unlike last year, there's a hype in price, and which is due to the economic situation, as they say. So,
most people are buying small goats which cost 25,000 to 30,000 naira because many do not have money to buy the cows or even rams. As the year ends with Christmas festivities, residents' appeal remains unchanged since the removal of the fuel subsidy months ago.
I'm appealing for the government to bring down, more especially the price of fuel. I think it's the fuel that is causing all these things. So if the government can look into the fuel price, I believe things will be better.
Now they should please help us. They should look into things and help us. We the citizens are suffering. They should just try and help us. We know it's not easy on them. It's not an easy job, but they should help us, please.
my appeal for the government is to do the necessity. If they can put price control on things, it will help a lot. It will go a long way, because these people are actually, you can't even blame them. Getting resources for the animals, keeping them, storing them, as you can see, it's an open space. They have to put up security, the food and every other thing. So if you put all that together, rearing the animal and what the feed and the drugs for the animals to be alive and healthy for us consumers to buy, it's on the high side. So definitely it has to affect the sales and the price of whatever you are buying.
Despite the challenges, residents continue to prioritize the spirit of the season, embracing togetherness and resourcefulness to make the best of the festivities. Many hope the coming year brings relief and stability to ease the burden of the spending on their celebrations. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
In Jigawa State, residents increasingly turn to Akaran Pap, known locally as Coco the Kose, for an affordable and accessible breakfast every morning. Customers troop to Akara sellers, eager to grab their share before long queues form. Trust TV's correspondent Ali Rabiu Ali reports.
For over a decade, Mama Awalsha Iskawa has been selling akara and pap in her community, navigating challenges while building a thriving business and earning goodwill from her customers. Despite the soaring prices of beans and millet, her akara spot remains a hotspot as many Jigawa residents consider it an economic breakfast choice.
Like now, before when I buy this 700, 1,000 naira. Now, this it on cost. I don't stop the business. I the manager. Come on, they pray now. God now go help you, every person. Now, see only our problem now. See the oil now. They buy oil now. You get the one they buy 100K. You get the one they buy 90. Come on, no stop the business. And they manage that.
She explained that her business faces difficulties, especially as she often buys beans and cooking oil on credit, repaying the money after making sales. Mama Awa also shared her struggles, recalling instances of thefts in the market that depleted her capital. She appealed to the government for support to sustain her livelihood.
The time I get money from my hand, I dey buy something. Now I don't get any money. Now collect her, now I will collect her. If I finish, I will return money. I will collect her. The time where I go market, they give my money. Now the thing where make me down. And my God don't carry me up. Don't be saying if God or another people, they don't give you credit. And my if I answer people, they will give me. How many bags do I work for this? They will give me. I don't get money. That's what they will give me. I am the manager.
Customers at the Accra spot expressed their preferences for akara and pap, which they find affordable compared to other breakfast options like rice or noodles, which cost thousands of naira.
Many things they are all expensive. Like I can't use my small money to go and buy a rice or beans to eat or to feed myself. So if I come with my small little of money, like 500, I can buy akara of 200 and some of and cocoa for 200. So I can feed myself. So if I say I will go and buy some luxury kind of food outside, so I can't feed myself. All of them, you know, the situation that we are in Nigeria. So it's only this thing that you can buy to satisfy your stomach, or to satisfy yourself. Because you can buy Indomie and others to be satisfied. It's only just this akara that you can buy and satisfy your stomach with your little money.
With a high inflation rate, many Jigawa residents are compelled to seek cheaper food alternatives for daily sustenance. The National Bureau of Statistics recently reported that Nigeria's inflation rate rose to 36.8% as of November 2024, highlighting the growing economic challenges faced by households. From Jigawa, Ali Rabiu Ali, Trust TV News.
In other news, tension grips Kaugama local government area of Jigawa State as residents protest the alleged seizure of their ancestral farmlands by a rice milling company. A viral video circulating online shows heated confrontations between herders and officials working on the land at Marke Forest. The state government reportedly allocated the forest to the firm for rice farming, sparking outrage among the herders who insist the land is their ancestral inheritance and cannot be taken away overnight. In response, the Executive Secretary of the Jigawa State Farmers and Herders Board, Salisu Abdullahi, stated that the government has halted further work on the disputed land and launched an investigation. A chief magistrate, Olabisi Ogunkomi, has ordered the remand of Prophetess Naomi Shilekunwola, the ex-wife of the Ooni of Ife, Oriyomi Hamzat, the owner of Agidigbo FM, and Basharun Islamic High School principal Fasasi Abdullahi at the Agodi Correctional Facility. The ruling is pending advice from the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Oyo State Ministry of Justice. They were arraigned on Tuesday before Chief Magistrate Court 1, Iyago Guibado, on a 4-count charge of conspiracy, acceleration of death, negligent acts causing harm, and failure to provide adequate security and medical facilities. The court premises witnessed tension as supporters of Hamzat gathered, but heavy security presence ensured order. The situation nearly escalated when police vans conveying the suspects began leaving the court premises.
The law tends to look at the effect of punishing someone, confining someone to detention. And later on, it turned out that he or she has no case to answer. Who will compensate such a person? I drew the attention of the court to a particular matter where a person was confined to detention for 14 solid years. And at the end of the day, it turned out that he has no case to answer. So, and that is why the Supreme Court nowadays, they are saying that, look, be liberal in this type of situation. You can give them bail, hand them over to someone that will ensure their attendance anytime they are needed. But the magistrate disagree with us. She has that right to disagree with us. And we also have a right to go to the higher courts. So there's no problem. The matter to her is adjourned to 13th January for the case to be mentioned.
Still in the southwest region of the country, a viral video posted on X.com on Tuesday shows a train colliding with a Sienna car, reportedly loaded with bags of rice in the Iju-Fagba area of Lagos State. As of now, no casualties have been confirmed, but the incident has reignited concerns about railway safety in this state. This comes a year after a tragic collision between a Lagos State staff bus and a commercial train along Agege Motor Road claimed at least 3 lives and left many injured. That incident, investigations revealed, was caused by reckless driving, with a BRT bus driver attempting to beat the train traffic signal. Authorities are yet to comment on the latest incident, but it underscores the need for increased vigilance and adherence to traffic regulations around rail crossings.
Crash you know be stop. Crash your life. Crash our life. Crash I'm live. Crash I'm live.
As Christians across the country prepare to celebrate Christmas, the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Gombe State has issued an important message to the faithful. He urged youth, particularly young ladies, to embrace modesty in their dressing and avoid drinking in line with the teachings of the Holy Bible. Hassan Koli reports.
Speaking with journalists in Gombe, the CAN chairman, Reverend Joseph Shinga, emphasized the need for Christians to reflect the true essence of the season through their conduct. He particularly called on youth, especially young women, to avoid dressing in ways that contradict biblical teachings.
Time of Christmas, sometimes some ladies tend to see the celebration in terms of poor dressing culture, in terms of dress that will show some parts that are not supposed to be outside. I call on such to desist from it, to dress and glorify God in Jesus by through a decent dressing, so that those coming behind will learn the basic rudiments of dress code that pleases God. And the youth in general, I call on them to desist from taking the laws into their hands, taking substance that will take them off the gaze at Jesus, this such celebration, to be sober, to be reflective, to really celebrate it, but without such things that will take them away from their senses and sometimes make them to take the law into their hands.
According to him, the period is not only for celebrations. There are more good deeds to prioritize. As taught by Jesus Christ, he encouraged Christians to embrace the spirit of love, unity, and giving, which are the hallmarks of the Christmas season.
On the issue of Christmas, Christmas is a time of reflection, the time of gratitude to God for the gift of His Son, Jesus, who comes to redeem us and to reconcile us back to Him. So every Christian is expected to be sober, to be prayerful, to be grateful, and to show loving and care to all those around us, not only the Christians, non-Christians alike. Show them the love that Christ has come and shown to us, the sacrifice, the gift that we may have at Christmas, the little drinks and food we have. Share it to those who are in need. Share it to those who are non-Christians as well.
The chairman also reminded Christians to seize the opportunity to pray for the nation's leaders and for peace and prosperity in Nigeria, especially during these hard times. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
Meanwhile, in the spirit of the holiday season, the Justice, Development and Peace Commission of the Catholic Diocese of Yola has continued its tradition of compassion by donating essential items to inmates at the Yode Pate Correctional Center in Adamawa State. During the presentation, Bishop Stephen Dami Mamza highlighted the items donated, which included 672 pairs of bathroom sleepers, 180 bottles of Izal antiseptic, 40 medium-sized mats, 1,080 containers of Vaseline ointment, 720 bars of multi-purpose soap, and a carton of assorted medications. The donations were aimed at improving the daily lives of the inmates and providing much-needed relief during the festive period. Bishop Mamza encouraged the inmates to use their time at the correctional center as an opportunity for reflection and growth. He emphasized that many of them are young and still have promising futures ahead, urging them to make the most of their circumstances and strive for positive change.
It is a period of joy, it is a period of happiness, and it is a period of peace, because Christ has brought peace and joy into the world for us. And if that is what it is all about, we have every reason to rejoice, we have every reason to celebrate. And in order to make the inmates to feel the impact of Christmas, we have decided to bring some Christmas gifts to them. Some items that they necessarily need in order to live a little bit comfortable here in this correctional center. So that's why we're here, to wish them happy Christmas, pray and bless them.
Elsewhere in the Federal Capital Territory, the University of Abuja has plunged into crisis over the appointment of a new Vice-Chancellor following the exit of Professor Abdul Rashid Nala on July 1. A group of professors at the institution is protesting the selection process, alleging irregularities and favoritism. They accuse the new governing council, in collaboration with certain staff members, of attempting to impose Aisha Maikudi as Vice-Chancellor, despite claims of her ineligibility based on the advertised criteria. Meanwhile, during coverage of the protest, security agents attacked a Channels television crew, damaging their vehicle. The gun-wielding officers reportedly manhandled the journalists and detained them for over an hour, sparking outrage over the mistreatment of media personnel. The situation at the University of Abuja underscores growing tensions and calls for transparency in the Vice-Chancellor selection process.
You are vandalizing my car, right? Wait now. No, don't worry. Don't worry. You are vandalizing my car. You are vandalizing my car, right? You are vandalizing my car. You are vandalizing my car. You are vandalizing my car, right? Give me the phone. Give me your phone. You are vandalizing my car. Yes, I'm a journalist. So you are vandalizing my car. Don't worry.
You're watching the News Hour tonight, coming to you live from Trust TV studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. Coming up ahead. Herder, with unyielding passion for education, teaches himself to read and write. We'll bring you plenty more stories after the break. We'll be right back. It's nice to have you join us again on the News Hour tonight on Trust TV. Here is a reminder of some of our top stories. We told you that logistics challenges spark passenger rush at Rigasa Station for holiday travel. Plus, low purchasing power dampens Christmas Eve preparations in Kano State. And now to other stories. The 2025 Appropriation Bill has sparked widespread criticism, with civil society groups, economic experts and political commentators weighing in on its implications for Nigeria's economic recovery and social welfare agenda. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on the National Assembly to reassess and revise the budget. The organization highlighted certain allocations as frivolous and urged lawmakers to prioritize expenditures that directly address the nation's pressing economic and social challenges. Critics argue that some budgetary provisions appear excessive and out of touch with the hardships faced by many Nigerians, raising concerns about the government's commitment to economic recovery and improved welfare for its citizens. Chamun Dabeng reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently presented a proposed budget of 49.7 trillion naira to the Senate. Key allocations include 4.91 trillion naira for defense and security, 4.6 trillion naira for infrastructure, 2.48 trillion naira for health, and 3.52 trillion naira for education. However, the budget has faced criticism, with notable concerns about 9.4 billion naira earmarked for traveling, feeding, and catering for the presidency, and 344.85 billion naira for lawmakers. Expenses many Nigerians have labeled as extravagant.
There seems to be some misplaced priorities there, and this also follows the character of the man. He's always been, he's always had this largesse, and we also saw that in the convoys. People moving around with convoys of 100 cars, costing hundreds of millions of naira per trip. And sadly, this may be the only time Nigerians get to interact with their leaders in these very difficult and very extravagant convoys, extravagant spendings. There's no reason why we should have 9 billion naira on travel expenses, on all of these perks for government officials.
The proposed budget is built on several key economic assumptions: a revenue target of 36.36 trillion naira, an inflation rate reduced to 15.75%, an exchange rate of 1,500 naira to the dollar, oil production of 2.06 million barrels per day, a crude oil price of $70 per barrel, and a budget deficit of 13.39 trillion naira. Analysts, however, question the feasibility of these projections, especially in the context of current economic realities.
I honestly don't think it is achievable, because one of the major causes of inflation is excess government spending, right? When there's so much money being spent on things that really don't chase a lot of value, inflation happens. Now, you might think that if you shrink, the forex market and try to squeeze out the dollar, you might feel that, you may be reducing inflation because we're an import-dependent economy. But if you float too much of the naira into the same markets by spending on things we actually don't need, the economics will play out on its own, right? There will be much more money chasing too few things.
I do not think the 15% inflation is realizable. It doesn't look, it's not possible. I would suggest that it's not possible the way things are going. The only way it's going to be possible is if the CPI, Consumer Price Index, is rebased, probably using 2023. The one we have now is like 14, 15 years ago. So we are using, in real terms, we are using the price of, I think, 14, 15 years ago. I can't remember the year. I don't want to make. So we are still using that price as a standard that we are comparing this with.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has also criticized the proposed budget, arguing that it lacks the structural and fiscal discipline needed to tackle Nigeria's complex economic challenges. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, Bauchi residents have expressed dissatisfaction with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic policies, claiming they failed to address the well-being of ordinary Nigerians who supported him in the last general elections. Their reactions followed the president's maiden media chat with journalists in Lagos, during which he defended the removal of fuel subsidy and emphasized the need for Nigeria to move away from business as usual. Adamu Imam has more in this report.
In the media chat, President Tinubu stated he had no regret about the subsidy removal, describing it as a necessary step for economic reform. However, in Bauchi, residents voiced concern over the impact of these policies, particularly the high cost of transportation and living expenses caused by the subsidy removal. They also hinted at closely monitoring his leadership as he eyes a potential second term in 2027.
A lot of things has been given free of charge. They don't pay for fuel. They don't pay for clothes. How much did they earmark for feeding and entertainment in Aso Rock? So definitely you won't feel it. Look at the 70,000 naira money they are paying for salaries. One chicken goes between 20 to 25,000 naira. Remove it from 70,000 naira. How much is the balance? Next year, January now, children will go back to school. How much is salary? How much are you going to pay? If you pay school fees, are you not going to eat again?
Honestly, Nigeria is much more than just Lagos. The president seems to think we are one homogeneous entity, but he must consider the realities of other parts of the country. While he faces challenges, his economic policies should be more inclusive. My advice to him is to make changes that prioritize the well-being of the masses. He was democratically elected, and whatever decisions he makes should be in the best interest of all Nigerians, not just a select few. Some residents lamented their inability to afford basic travel due to skyrocketing cost of transportation, while others criticized the border challenges facing the Nigerian economy.
Very costly. Something that is supposed to be 500 will be 2,000. That is why I'm supposed to travel, no money to travel because of too much of transportation. From here to Imo State is very costly. Go and come, it will cost me more than 60,000 or 70,000.
I thank God I'm alive today. I'm not better than those that lost their life. Even some, I used to watch for Facebook, for WhatsApp, what is happening for Nigeria. It's just because of situation, but I just want to also beg for government to assist us because things is too hard and things too difficult.
Economic experts have noted that while the removal of fuel subsidy could yield long-term benefit for Nigerians, it requires the government to provide alternative measures to cushion the immediate effects on the populace. The debate continues as citizens grapple with the realities of the economic reforms. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Governor Dika Umaru Radda has distributed modern farming implements and fertilizers worth over 18 billion naira to farmers in Katsina State. This move is part of his administration's effort to boost agricultural productivity and support local farmers. The report.
Governor Radda emphasized that the distribution of essential farming implements and fertilizers is a clear testament to his administration's commitment to modernizing the agricultural system in the state. He stated that this initiative aims to enhance food production and improve the livelihoods of farmers across Katsina.
Our administration has prioritized the agricultural sector as the mainstay of the state economy by way of enhancing the GDP, IGR, employment opportunities, investment, and curbing rural urban drift, farming indolence, and improve livelihood of our people.
Malam Dikorada explained that the distributed items included 4,000 hand-powered tillers, 4,000 solar-powered water pumps, and 48,000 bags of fertilizers. These were provided to local irrigation farmers from across the 34 local government areas.
Dry season vegetable farming across the 34 local governments, in which the government spent 1.9 billion and is 100% completed, with 2,040 farmers benefited. 1.4 billion naira, which is about 20,000 metric tons, and distributed to 350,000 farmers across the state in the last rainy season.
Governor Radda expressed his appreciation for the support the state government is receiving from the federal government and development partners, and highlighted the arrangements made for the distribution of the items.
Today, we are doubling the number of the solar water pump to be given to the group of farmers of 4, as well as the power tillers to the group of 10 farmers, which will be greatly subsidized to the farmers and have the opening of paying within 12 months.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, stated that the hand-powered tillers will help reduce the challenges faced by farmers and ease the burden of manual labor, enabling them to work more efficiently and boost productivity. He emphasized that this initiative aligns with the Bola Tinubu administration's broader plan to enhance food security, encourage mechanized farming, and promote sustainable agricultural practices across the country.
Today's event is a testament to His Excellency the Executive Governor's determination to once again walk the talk, and for this, he deserves an applause. By its geographical location, Katsina State can only have relatively limited amount of rainfall compared to the southern parts of the country, which severely limits agricultural activities to the wet season.
The Commissioner of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Professor Ahmad Muhammad Bakuri, assured that the state government, through the ministry, will continue to ensure that farmers have the necessary tools and resources to thrive.
In the serene plains of Akko local government area, a 21-year-old herder tends to his animals daily. But beyond this routine lies an inspiring story. Muhammad Bello's relentless passion for education, hindered only by a lack of access to formal schooling. Trustee Hassan Koli recently visited one of the herders' camps and brings us the story. The report.
For years, Muhammad Bello has followed the same daily routine of herding animals after a simple breakfast. Despite his demanding schedule, he has carved out time to teach himself to read and write, relying on scarce resources and practicing whenever he can.
Turanci ne ina ga ma'ana. To gaskiya har Allah ina da burin in yi karatun zamanin nan.
I love to learn, but growing up, there were no schools nearby, and my family could not afford to send me elsewhere. So I taught myself as much as I could. I have never been in a classroom, but my Islamic education gave me the foundation to navigate learning independently. Like many others in rural Awaru axis, Muhammad's dreams of formal education remains a distant hope. He firmly believes that with consistent efforts from the government to extend nomadic schools, more herders could access education and transform their lives. We have no schools nearby to combine Islamic and Western knowledge, which is our major concern. I believe education will change our lives and open up opportunities. We urge the government to bring nomadic schools to our community. Muhammad Bello's story is a testament to resilience and hope. In the face of adversity, his unwavering passion for learning stands as a beacon of inspiration, proving that with determination, dreams can be pursued, even in the toughest condition. From Gombe, Hassan Koli, reporting for Trust TV.
An 18-year-old Fatia Abdul Hakim, suspected to have murdered a retired permanent secretary in Niger State, Adamu Jagaba, has died while in police detention. Reliable sources within the police said Abdul Karim died since on Thursday but could not tell the cause of his death. The suspect had been recently paraded by the Commissioner of Police in Niger State, Shawulu Ebenezer Danmaman, as being the principal suspect for the killing of the late permanent secretary Adamu Jagaba, who was attacked and stabbed to death at his block industry near PDP Secretariat in Mina. While narrating his involvement in the murder case during the police parade, Abdul Hakim said he was contracted by some workers of the deceased to kill him. The spokesperson for the Niger State Police Command, SP Wasiu Abiodun, confirmed the death of the suspect. We'll go on a quick break now. The news hour tonight. We'll be right back.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira exchange rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to change central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast.
Number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
Welcome back. It's time now to join Yusuf Akagu for the business news.
Nigeria recorded 2,854 phone thefts per hour between May 2023 and April 2024, highlighting growing security risk and increasing dependency on mobile technology. This was reviewed in the National Bureau of Statistics Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey, which provided a detailed analysis of crime trends over the 12-month period. The report reviewed 51.89 million crime incidents affecting households during the time frame, with phone theft being the most prevalent individual crime. It has a prevalence rate of 13.8% and was estimated at 25 million cases in the reference period. With the world becoming increasingly digital, phones serve more than communication purposes. Christmas travelers have been left stranded at various Nigerian airports as they cannot find enough airplanes flying to their destinations. This situation has led to flight cancellations and delay as aircraft demand overshoots supply. Operators say the recent airplane addition by airlines are not enough. According to a report, operators leverage loans and partnerships to bring in aircraft to feed local routes during Yuletide period, following a noticeable passenger glut resulting from depletion in aircraft size across the aviation sector. Now let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. oil prices rise on Tuesday, reversing the prior session's losses, buoyed by slightly positive market outlooks for the short term and stronger U.S. economic data, despite in trade ahead of the Christmas holiday. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $73 per barrel. For the per basket, price drops to $72 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Aku.
And now to developments on the foreign scene. An exchange of fire between the Congolese army and the militia group fighting alongside it has killed up to 8 civilians in the country's troubled eastern region. Since 2021, the Rwanda-backed M23 militia has seized swathes of territory in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, displacing thousands causing a humanitarian crisis. The Congolese armed forces have been fighting to recover territory backed by groups of militia known as Wazalendo. But on Monday, fire was exchanged between the Congolese army and Wazalendo in a village in North Kivu province just outside the provincial capital, Goma. A local official said there had been 8 civilian fatalities as well as 4 deaths from the ranks of Congolese army and 1 Wazalendo fighter. Still on the foreign scene, famine is spreading in Sudan as a result of a relentless war between the military and the paramilitary group that has wrecked the country and created the world's largest displacement crisis. Experts from the Integrated Food Security Phase classification said they detected famine in 5 areas in the northeastern African country, including Sudan's largest displacement camp, Zamzam, in North Darfur province, where famine was announced for the first time in August. According to the United Nations, Sudan has been roiled by a 20-month war that has killed more than 24,000 people and driven over 14 million people, about 30% of the population, from their homes. This includes an estimated 3.2 million who have crossed into neighboring countries, including Chad, Egypt, and South Sudan. The war began in April 2023 when long-simmering tensions between its military and paramilitary rapid support forces exploded into open fighting in the capital, Khartoum, before spreading to other urban areas and the western Darfur region. Let's join Adeni Ajishafe for the latest in sports.
Tega Okwemete has been crowned the king of Scrabble in the Jungle Hardcore edition after winning 15 games in 23-round contests in Lagos. 4 of the top players in Africa, including Grandmaster John Ayedun, African number 2 George Ezinore, and immediate past African champion Enoch Nwali, camped in Ikeja, Lagos, where the Germans face one another in mind game sport in 2 days. The Scrabble players of equal strength were strategically selected by organizers for the Scrabble Hardcore edition. Okwemete confirmed his new status as the ruler of the field when he defeated his closest rival in Nwali, 492 to 366 in round 22, with a game to spare, fearing Nwali fast play and intimidating prowess of dropping premiums practically at the speed of light. Okwemete had to deploy his skills on the board if he could fulfill his yearning of finishing the year with a top podium placement, which has eluded him on several occasions. Nwali concluded day 1 as a leader with 8-5 result, losing 6 out of 10 rounds to finish second with 12 wins and 11 defeats on day 2. Ezinore played third with the same wins as Nwali with lower cumulative of plus 79 points, while number 1 ranked player going to the Jungle Ayedun fell with a result of 7-16, which underscored the unpredictable nature of the tournament. Tega appreciated the platform as he speaks further on the competitiveness in Nigerian Scrabble.
The other tournament, you have players that are not that good. Maybe after first pairing, second pairing, third pairing, you will be playing weaklings. But King of the Jungle, I think the players that are making the King of Jungle, they are co-equals and they are very good. So there's no way you can just come and ride on anybody. So if you have to win, you have to climb it's like climbing dead bodies, and that is just it. So it's not easy.
Okemute won a cash prize of 200,000 naira in the tournament follow across the globe. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Achishafe.
Very well then, that's about the size of our package for you on the News Hour tonight on Trust TV from our news production team here in Abuja and other parts of the country. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas in advance.